Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Story Archives, where we're going to be covering Season 5 of Slow Horses on Apple TV. I am one half of your hosts here, Mario Busto, alongside
the other half of your host, Zachary Newton. Welcome back.
We are back. Well, we're actually here after a 2-week little break from our coverage of Foundation that I had to remind Zach about just before we hit record.
That's how that went down.
On this call.
For those of you who weren't here 2 minutes ago, this is the 5th time we started this intro. So
yeah.
1 week does some damage. It's crazy.
2 weeks, because you can't count. But
that's fine.
This is our first ever coverage of Slow Horses, a show that I've been trying to get Zach into for 2 or 3 years now.
Oh, man, I need to wash your mouth out with soap, my guy.
All right, so I've said a couple of falsehoods to start the show. Slow Horses is a show Zach has been on me about.
That's very true.
To watch for years now, and I binged it, I think, over the summer or around springtime, seasons 1 through 4. It's always delightful when you find a good show that has 3 or 4 seasons already done, and you can kind of just like have something to look forward to every night and on the weekend, you know. And so I binged seasons 1 through 4, and I was delighted to hear that they were going to release season 5 just a couple of months after I was watching. So we are here now with episode 1 titled Bad Dates, and it feels like Slow Horses is back to its solid storylines. This is all personal preference here. Season 4 to me was the weakest of the 4 seasons, so to speak. We can talk about why I think that was, but season 5 seems to be getting back to what made, I think, seasons 1 through 3 really good.
Yeah, I agree. Seasons 1 through 3 were very solid. I did not have the luxury of binging it. I had to wait, a year in between each season. But man, it was a great show. I'm glad you finally watched it. I love the James Bondy vibe that I get from this every now and then. It's fun. It's a really fun watch. But yeah, season 4 for me it was okay, right? The storyline, it's just been done before so many times.
It started off really strong.
It did.
With the whole River Cartwright and his grandfather, David.
Yep.
His grandfather's name is David, right? Please, just verify that,
Sure.
please. I'm pretty sure, almost 100% positive it's David. I just always call them the Cartwrights.
It is.
So that whole situation where we thought David blew off River Cartwright's face with a shotgun, leading to what I thought was a bit of an underwhelming plot twist, because, like you said, we've seen it so many times, is that whole main character's father is the grand villain. And then his father was training up a bunch of child spies, pretty much, at some undisclosed French location. I found all of that a little bit just cheesy to me when seasons 1 through 3 were just so good.
Yeah.
And although Harkness is still on the loose, right? You remember at the end of season 4, he does threaten the park with pretty much outing them about all of the political assassinations that they carried out on behalf of the West.
Yeah.
So he is on the loose now. So we don't know how he's going to factor into the stories down the line. But it seems that all of River's half stepbrothers or whatever the hell half brothers are all dead for the most part.
Yeah.
So at least we don't have to deal with any like Terminator style half brothers of River Cartwright.
I feel like his father's going to have to play in this story somehow. Like, I can't imagine we would just have like a peel off whole season 4 on that storyline without, seeing some re-emergence of his character. So
says who? I mean, we literally at the end of season, I think it was season 1 or 2, when Sid gets, supposedly gets offed, and they say that she's still alive. We still haven't seen her, and it's been like 3 seasons since that happened. So
I think she's dead. I mean, I thought she was dead since that season.
Roddy had the tip that she was alive, that she was not, that it was essentially like a cover up. Like there was a good chance she was alive.
Anybody named Ho's not a really reliable source, so
it's not true.
I don't know.
It's not true at all.
Sorry if your name's Ho.
I always wonder, like, we'll talk a little bit. We'll get to Ho because he is like the main focal point in this episode for the most part, of which all things are moving around. But speaking of River's half brothers who are playing a factor here, Shirley is kind of the She's like the catalyst in this episode. She's the only one paying attention to things going on, but she is very much still in mourning over the loss of Marcus, which, if you don't remember, he was an agent for Slough House in seasons 4 and 3, and he had the gambling addiction, so he was very much simpatico with Shirley's drug addiction.
Yeah, they were a great combo to see on screen. I was really sad when he died
Same.
in the last season.
Albeit, there's a lot of things to pay attention to from previous seasons, and I was eerily reminded of another Slough House character who got killed brutally, doing the same thing that Shirley's doing at the end of this episode, which is trailing a car on a bike. So, and if you remember, that was Min, which was Louisa's ex-love interest from season 2 and 1, who was killed. And it was like, I think he was killed in season, I don't remember which season it was.
I want to say it was 3.
It might have been 3, because it was like the Russians, I think, that killed him.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping there's a better outcome for Shirley. I don't think she's going to die, but we're off to a kind of mysterious start. And I have a feeling that Ho is absolutely involved in this somehow, mainly because he's kind of an incel, or not kind of, he is definitely an incel. So I think he was on the website that the mass shooter was in. Mm-hmm. If YouTube is flagging this video at all, like the amount of like buzzwords.
Oh, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot covering this show.
Yeah, for sure. But I have a feeling he was on the same website, and that's the reason they're trying to off him for some reason. I hope he's not actually involved in any of this, like the plot itself, but it is odd how this is 2 seasons in a row where a terrorist situation happened and Ho's like in the middle of it.
When you say in the middle of it or involved with it, you don't mean like involved on the wrong side. You just mean like caught in the crossfire or a victim of this as well.
Season 4, he's eating fried chicken and like walking down the street and there's a massive explosion behind him. So I just found it super ironic or convenient that he almost gets hit by the van that is responsible for the shooting that took place in this episode. So I was like, this time it feels like he's involved somehow. I'm not saying with the evil plan, but he must be some sort of loose end here somehow to being able to find these people. And that's the reason they want to take him out. I don't think they're targeting everybody at Slough House. I think they're just targeting him.
For now, at the very least, it seems like they're just targeting him. But, this show is also, like, it has its very serious moments, but it's also got that ironic, funny kind of, vibe to it. So I think it's funny that he just tends to be the dumb guy, the fool, always in the middle of something happening. So
what's funny is that he's the smartest guy on the show, but his emotional intelligence is absolutely the dumbest on the show.
Oh, yeah. He can't read any room. I don't think he could read a tower.
A what?
A tower. Yeah.
Like
can't
the
read
sniper,
the room, but,
the sniper's tower?
Maybe read a big building or something. Yeah.
I mean, similarly enough, I think River Cartwright is kind of similar in not having emotional intelligence in the show.
I feel like it's kind of a common theme between most of them, maybe with the exception of Catherine. I feel like Catherine's the one that generally is the one reading the room. Standish?
Yeah, I know. No, she's the mother of Slough House, right? But in some sense, like I'm always waiting for Jackson Lamb to have some sort of soft moment, like just anything of some sort of emotional moment with somebody, and it never happens. He's the most. Why is that? Why do you think?
Because you're supposed to fuck off.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, that's why.
But he actually does love everybody there.
He does, in his own tormented way. He does.
He's a fantastic character, by the way.
Yeah.
Without him, we don't cover this show. No, there's no way.
No, I feel like he can't. Look, everybody does a really good job in this show, but he really carries the show for me. I love every single scene with him in it. It's great. And one of the most random scenes that I always love with him, which I probably shouldn't, because I feel like it's intended to be one of the most gross scenes most of the time.
When he's eating?
Man, every time I watch this freaking show, I just want to eat. I want to pound Chinese. Every time. I don't know. I want to eat Chinese food. Get your head out the gutter, bro.
No, I'm just laughing at the no, I'm definitely laughing at what you just said and the way you said it. No, we're gonna get flagged for sure. You just said you wanna. Anyways, that is hilarious that you find watching Jackson Lamb eat like appetizing, like it makes you hungry. It disgusts me when he's at the Chinese restaurant. He's slurping noodles. I gotta like, because there's times I'm watching Slow Horses and I'm eating, and I gotta just like not pay attention when he's eating because it is pretty gross the way he chews and stuff.
It is gross, but I don't know what it is. The slurping. I don't know.
Just want to pound Chinese. I get
puts
it.
me in the mood for
it,
Chinese.
Bro. Yeah, I get it, dude. You know, everyone's been there.
Apparently not.
No, but what's his special order that he does at the Chinese restaurant?
I don't even remember.
That he gives to the spy. That might be the
noodles.
greatest moment in Slow Horses. Ask for blah blah blah. So I did notice that they integrated him a lot more in this episode than they have in like previous seasons. And I feel like they're leaning a lot heavier into his character because there's nothing better than seeing him go on a full-on spy mode. So I feel like we're due for that at some point. But it always sort of makes me laugh how he pretends he doesn't care, but he pretty much preempts everybody to do everything that they're doing through his reaction, you know?
Yeah.
So he has handpicked all these rejects, but they're his rejects, right? So he knows Shirley's going to continue to investigate despite him telling her to go fly a kite half the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, 100%. I think that's just always his strategy. He also seems like the lazy kind of guy, right? So he doesn't want to get involved.
He's a
right?
slob. He doesn't shower.
He's an incredible. Portrays a slob very, very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean he's lazy. He knows they're gonna do it. So cool. If I don't get involved, you'll still do the thing you want to do, but I don't have to do the paperwork. So great.
But it's always incredible to see how much of a revered spy he is in it. I do wonder if this is going to be the first season where, because it does feel like a common thread in all of the seasons so far has been that Park has been behind all of the things that have occurred in one way or the other. Season 1, it was a political move that they wanted to have happen. And then now, the previous season, they were somewhat behind that as well. It's the reason why Harkness is let go. All of the seasons, the government is somehow involved in the conspiracies that take place in the show. And I'm wondering, I mean, the big one was the files, right? Remember when they're in the bunker, and that was a huge one, and that was all the Park trying to cover up their trail. All pretty much Tavernier in every situation there. And I'm just wondering if this is going to be the first season that we don't have that as the common link. Because now at this point, I'm just expecting them to be behind it somehow.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to continue. I don't think they're just going to like magically come out the other end smelling like roses or anything. I feel like they're going to be the agitators in this.
You know,
in some way.
I'm glad that they mentioned that the sniper who shot the shooter in the beginning of the episode left the casing behind. Because when I saw Flight go up the stairs, that's kind of a pun. When I saw Flight go up the stairs and find the casing, I just went, that has to be on purpose. There's
100%.
no way. And so Tavernier says, what kind of, there's no way. This is so clean. Why'd they leave it behind? And so makes perfect sense that it was, to taunt them in some way. And, the political undertones of this season, I have a feeling that the whole point of the plot here is going to be pinning, because the guy who plays Mayor Jaffrey, the Indian candidate, I believe, or at least I think he was Indian.
His name's Nick Mohammed. So
in the show,
I don't know if he's Indian. Yeah.
Then why was it Mayor Jaffrey?
No. In real life. In the show, it's Zafar Jaffrey.
Mostafar?
Zafar Jaffrey.
I don't know. I wouldn't know like which country that would be
either.
from. All I know is that he represents the opposite of the Gimbal side of things, right? So Gimbal's like hard against immigration, hard against crime, whereas the other one is the more compassionate and kind of more political type of candidate, right? So I have a feeling that they're making it seem like the plot here of the shooter was very much in line with the gimbal guy, but I have a feeling that it's going to be like, because you see the face of the guy who plays Mayor Joffrey when he finds out, like, he's like immediately like, I'm going to use this as a bullet against this guy, right? And I think it's not going to be so easy. I think it's going to be pitting both sides against each other. Like, I think the person who's behind all of this is not on one side or on the other side. They're just trying to pin both sides as hard against each other as possible. And so I don't know how that'll come about, but that was my initial suspicion, like seeing everything go down.
I do agree with you on that. I feel like it's like a third party actor altogether. I don't think it's one side trying to make a political statement to, hey, come to my side. I don't think it's that at all. No. I did have to take a double take though when Mayor Zafar came on screen, because I was like, what do I know him from? What do I know him from? He's in Ted Lasso.
Of course, man. That's Nate Dogg.
Yeah.
He's left the Manchester City coaching position or wherever he was coaching in. I think it was Man City, and now he is mayor of London.
Heck yeah.
And he's the incumbent. So Gimbel's running against him, so he is already mayor.
Yeah. At some point, they'll start building some AI robots over there and go to space.
Maybe. So we've covered so far what we've picked up. Luisa is leaving the show for some reason. And there's just sort of... They've been setting up a love interest sort of thing with her and River for about 2 seasons now. And I've been pulling hard for it. The way you are for Chinese. Right. I've been pulling hard for this little love to happen. Doesn't seem Luisa's keen on it at the moment. I think she is into him, but she knows that he's not in a healthy place right now. So if he does do whatever he's gonna do right now, it wouldn't stick. But I do think that it'll pay off better. Like, she's gonna go on her little hiatus, and then he's gonna do his thing. And I think maybe at the end of this season we'll have like a look at the way they're looking at each other in this frame you pulled.
Oh, I know. I mean, I feel like it's been a minute since I've seen the last seasons, but I feel like she's been very flirty around him for a while, and he's had eyes on her too. So something's bound to happen. I don't think she's leaving for good. I feel like she'll come back later on in the season.
Yeah,
and I feel like she also has a pattern of trying to run away from things like this, and then just ends up getting sucked back into everything.
We need to talk about Jack Loudon, who plays River Cartwright. Because a few months ago, when we were talking about who would be the next James Bond on the show, I got a mysterious message from a listener out there who told me, don't sleep on Jack Loudon. This is somebody with insider info. I won't say how deep. I did say that would sort of shock me, but the more I've watched him, I could see it working somehow. He is Scottish, I believe. Jack Loudon. Is he Scottish?
I can double check.
He's dating Saoirse Ronan. Nice catch, bro.
Yes, he is Scottish.
He's Scottish. I believe Sean Connery was Scottish. Right?
Maybe we'll see. I mean, that sounds about right. I haven't looked that up. Yes, he was a renowned Scottish actor. Right.
Could we be returning to Scottish roots?
I don't know. I mean,
returning to Scottish roots?
They did say they wanted to, find a younger Bond. So
they did say that the next Bond will be like a prequel series Bond. I do think that he is young enough to get it. I keep on seeing pictures of Tom Holland. That would really kill it for me. I like Tom Holland. He's not James Bond material. He's just not. Sorry. I don't think he has the acting chops for it.
Me neither.
I don't think
he's too.
He can't pull off
goofy.
He can't pull off suave. At least, and maybe he can. I haven't seen him do it.
All I see is just a young kid as Spider-Man. Whenever I see Tom Holland, there was, I think he was in that one movie on Apple where he was like
Cherry,
ex-military. Yeah, Cherry. Yeah,
I haven't watched Cherry.
It was a little depressing.
Wasn't he in a show as well?
Probably.
Wasn't he in a show about mental health?
Wasn't that Cherry?
Was that Cherry?
I think that was Cherry.
That he was having like psychotic breaks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Cherry.
I thought Cherry was a war movie. I didn't know it was a. Apple needs to do better with the way they market their titles. They don't have enough titles to not be marketing these a little bit better. Because the fact that we are the Apple TV guys, the fact that we get bad reviews on our podcast because we don't cover enough Apple TV shows, like the moment we go to a Netflix show, which I'm damn near tempted to right now because right now there are so many shows I'm watching and I don't have enough time for all of them. Okay, I'm watching Tulsa King on Paramount with Sylvester Stallone, pretty solid show.
Okay.
And then today, Alice in Borderland season 3 came out. Fantastic show. Well, let me not say fantastic. It's a decent show. Was a fantastic ending to last season. Savant is coming out on Apple TV, like tomorrow. And then House of Guinness, from the makers of Peaky Blinders, which kicked off this podcast, came out today on Netflix. Which I might, and then Black Rabbit. I'm watching that on Netflix too with Jude Law and Jason Bateman. Pretty fantastic show so far. So there's like 5 or 6 shows. I think we should just cover them all.
I mean, I wish we could, and if more people hit that subscribe button, maybe we will cover more.
If we hit 10,000 subs, we'll cover every single one of those shows episodically.
Yes, we will.
You would do it if we hit 10,000 subs, like on this episode.
Hell yeah! If we hit 10K, 100%, we'll do it. We'll cover those. Yeah. I think it'd be great. I am really looking forward to watching House of Guinness. And you know what? I feel like we're never that far from Peaky Blinders. We're not. I mean, we got Shirley in here. We got a Shelby in this show. Esme. That's right.
Mm-hmm. I was watching the whole episode today, and because it's been so long since I watched Peaky Blinders, I was like, what else has she been in? She is Esme. Mm-hmm. Well, I did think we've deviated so far from Slow Horses, but there's not much more to talk about in this episode. Because the episode does end with Shirley going after the taxi that was carrying Roddy with the escort, which really pissed me off. I really felt bad for Roddy because he's trying to kiss the girl and she won't even kiss him. And he's like such a weirdo. He's like, when are the two going to become one? And I was like, damn, bro, this guy is so cringe.
Loser.
But I am foreseeing a Shirley Roddy situation because she literally said in the club that she could see why somebody would want to hook up with Roddy. And Cartwright looks at her like, yo. But the funniest part of the episode actually was when she says to Cartwright, no, you're borderline asexual. And then he looks, because he asks her kind of like insecure. He's like, you think anybody looked at me when I walked in here? And the camera cuts away to like 4 different women. Yeah. And none of them are looking in the direction of the camera. And then it cuts back to him and he's like, this is great.
That was very funny. Roddy's fun to watch on screen.
He is.
He is very much a one-note character.
Yeah, but you can't kill him.
No, you can't.
He's like insane.
He's enjoyable. Yeah.
He's always fun on screen. No doubt.
He brightens every situation. It doesn't matter if there's like a bus that's driving through a house. Brightens every situation.
Well, he's such a pain in the ass. I forget what it was. When Min died was when he was the worst.
Yeah.
When Min died and how heartless he was so bad.
He was very bad. But I mean, it's not that different than River Cartwright in this episode. They all suck when they're all terrible at losing things and dealing with situations of loss.
Well, Louisa essentially said the reason River's being like that is because he's not processed the way he's been acting after his dad nearly killed him. Mm-hmm. Which is pretty traumatic when you think about it. But his dad put a grenade in his hoodie, which is crazy.
At least it would have been quick, right?
You'd hope.
Yeah, it's true.
What is your grand theory here as to why Roddy's even a target to begin with?
This show does a really, really good job at throwing me off of any scent within the first 2 episodes.
Okay.
I really have no idea. I mean, if I were trying to tie it into the whole situation and, maybe it's just, he's just a great hacker guy, and he's in the chat rooms. And I know he's in the chat rooms. And they don't want him to tie them to the assassinations and the killings that are going on. But come on, he's good, but it's not like there's not 10, 20 other hackers at the park ready to do that. If, do a little bit of digging. Like, I feel like anybody could do that. So it's really hard to know. Could it just be a situation of wrong place, wrong time? Which, I mean, does kind of seem to fit his character for many of his scenes throughout the last few seasons.
Mm-hmm. Why is the office completely like torn to shreds? And why is Lamb's office completely?
Remember, they were the
there
whole
was a
crew was
shootout
locked in
in
there,
there.
and in the last season there was a whole shootout. All the windows got
Yeah.
busted. That's where Marcus died.
In his
they were all
office?
fighting. Yeah, they were all fighting for their life.
I don't remember it being
Shirley,
in his office.
I
I
think
thought
Shirley
it was
assassinated somebody. Yeah.
No, that was Cole. The
Oh, it
guy
was
in the
Cole.
hood. That was
Oh,
Cole
you're
who
right,
shot
you're
the
right.
guy against the radiator.
Yep.
Who Cole's the biggest wild card of them all. Like, completely. But he is kind of turned into the comedic relief a little bit when they're in the party and he's like, want to hit the pub? And he goes, no. Even though he wasn't being asked. It was
You know what's
just being
funny
asked
though?
to
Like,
Lisa.
I remember him being in the show now that you say that, in this episode. But my God, he is a freaking fly on the wall. Like,
He really
you don't
is,
even
man.
notice him. He just
You
comes out of
really-
nowhere.
Yeah.
No, one line. Like, okay.
And I think that's how it'll be all season. It'll be like he just kind of floats in and floats out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's pretty funny. Anything else you want to cover? I mean, we covered all the main events of this episode. One of the funniest things in this episode to me was when Catherine is giving the update to Lamb, and you see what he has her saved as on his phone.
Yes.
He has her saved as Old Soak, which made me start dying of laughter, bro. Do you know what Old Soak it means? Like the term?
No.
It's somebody who's like, literally the definition is, if you look it up, it's like someone who's habitually drunk all the time. That is such a Jackson Lamb thing to do.
That's funny.
She must have a really bad problem with alcohol for her to not even be able to step foot in a club. Because she said, I can't go in there, there's alcohol. So
Yeah.
if there's alcohol even within 2 feet from her, something will happen.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, there's alcohol in the office. I
Yeah.
mean, Cartwright brought it in, but she does her best to stay away from it as much as she can. I think the problem is being alone with the alcohol, because in the club she would have been alone, right? At the office and everywhere else,
Standish
she's with
starts
her
raging.
friends.
That'd be crazy.
Can you imagine Jackson Lamb in there just,
In
doing
his
a jig, doing something,
in his patchy socks.
and his freaking greasy hair. Oh my God, it's so greasy.
I'm somebody who can't fall asleep if I haven't taken a shower.
Yeah.
I'm sure like in an extreme situation I could, but I usually like if I hit the bed dirty, I can't fall asleep. Jackson Lamb looks like he smells so bad, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine. Could you imagine sleeping on a couch being as dirty as Jackson Lamb on that plastic covered
God.
couch? I don't know if you ever had like an aunt or like an older relative who put the plastic on their sofas, but I had one relative that did this when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And they were very much, very particular about like cleanliness and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And they had all the plastic covers on all their sofas, okay?
Yeah.
And when I would sit there in the summer, if you've never sat on some of these couches that have those plastic covers on them, it starts to when it gets hot, your skin sticks to it. So it's like
sticky.
when you lift your leg, it'll like stick to it almost like a Velcro.
Yep.
And I just imagine his greasy hair rubbing up all up on that saran wrapped couch, and it's so gross.
Yeah, but at least he doesn't stick to the couch. That's the upside.
Yeah,
right?
I know, right? He's slipping and sliding everywhere.
I never
Um,
understood the people that put that stuff on
Me
couches and
neither.
furniture. I'm like, what's the point of having a damn couch, bro?
Same as people who buy sneakers and they don't wear them. I
It's
don't.
crazy to me.
Like they do it for collection. I could understand somebody who buys 2 pairs, one to wear and one to like sell or have as a collection piece. But I never even understood people who bought like one action figure and then just put it up there, for decorative. I like to, use the things I buy.
Yeah.
Um,
Like Chinese food. You gotta eat it, bro. Why you got so many weird faces tonight?
Because that was an odd thing to throw in there. But anyways, where do we go from here with the show? I think we need to kind of plot some next steps of where episode 2 is going.
Well, I mean, look, I don't think Roddy's gonna die. I would be really shocked if Roddy dies. I think, clearly Shirley's intuition is playing out here, and I think she'll come in, she'll swoop in to save the day, and that's gonna kind of whip everybody else's butt into gear. I don't think that's gonna be enough to keep Louisa around, though. I think she's still gonna depart for some amount of time. I feel like we've got to see something more about the park's involvement in this. There was just like a couple like cutaway scenes to the park, and then we were gone. Like there wasn't much there. So I'm wondering if they're somehow behind this again.
That would be a bit redundant at this point.
It would be, but I mean, do we have closure? Maybe we do have enough closure to not reopen that.
Well, Slow Horses typically has 6 episodes per season, and I believe that's the case with season 5. So things will be moving pretty quick here.
Yeah.
And even as we cover this right now, as we cover this series, and I see like the runtime on this episode being 30 something minutes, it's not like beefy enough to not do another show. So I do think we're gonna have to mix in another show here for our very loyal audience out there. And there are a few good contenders, but I definitely am not satisfied with doing a 30-minute recording every week if it's going to be this succinct.
Yeah, so, not only a 30-minute recording. I think we got to make something else in. I've been watching Invasion. Look.
We got emailed about it. We've been asked by 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
Will you cover Invasion? I haven't even been interested to put on episode 1.
It honestly, like, it's one of those shows where when I watch it, it has the veneer of being good. Like at the surface level, you could see this being a really good. I love the artwork for it. I think the story's kind of interesting, but I just can't take it seriously, man. Like I sit there and I'm just like yelling at my screen. You'll have somebody trying to snoop around a room. How you'll like sneak into a facility or something. You're trying to blend in and not stick out like a sore thumb.
I know exactly what that feels like.
But you walk inside, you pull up a hoodie, put a hat on, and put some sunglasses on indoors. Like, bro, are you nuts? No. So I don't know if I can do that one. I think we should entertain House of Guinness. I could go for some Guinness, and I think it'd be a fun watch, man.
Every time the show pops up on my feed, and it just came out today, so that's not been too frequent. I want a cold Guinness.
Hell yeah,
with a nice head to it.
Yep.
I was gonna say top because I couldn't think of the correct term, but I'm not a dark beer drinker because we live in a very hot state.
We do.
So dark beers, for the most part, are not the go-to selection here. I know someone in the UK might hear that and be like, bloody hell, but
yeah, that's exactly how they say it. As you're wearing your Harry Potter shirt. I used to love stouts and dark beer, but I think I had too much of them, and I just like every time I have one now I get sick. Well, not like sick. It kind of gives me a headache. But I'll tell you what though, a Guinness, I can go for it every time. Like to me, a Guinness is almost not even dark. It fills you up.
I've got a good Japanese spot near me, and they have Guinness on tap. So I think I'm gonna be getting a Guinness from there this weekend.
I might do it too.
Come on down, buddy. Let's go get drunk. Let's go get drunk and talk about conspiracies. Conspiracies.
All
right. Let's do the category, shall we?
Sure, let's do it. Let's start with favorite character of the episode.
You know what? It's got to be Lamb.
Really, Lamb? I was going Roddy.
I was gonna go Cartwright, but
Cartwright bugged me in this episode.
Nah, I liked him in this episode. But when Lamb has the conversation with Standish about the way he's managing them, and
Hmm.
she's saying, "So you do want her to go look into it?" He's like, "Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
now go f off." I don't know. It's gonna always be hard to top Jackson Lamb for me personally.
it is. He's kind of the Tommy Shelby of this show.
Funny enough,
Although
Zach.
River Cartwright really does have
No,
some
he
good
doesn't
ones.
have. River Cartwright's nowhere near like an iconic character like
Not
Jackson
as
Lamb.
iconic, but he is a very central figure to so many of the episodes. So
Well, he is the most likable character in the entire show besides Luisa, probably. I think Luisa's pretty likable as well. Um, Standish is likable, but she can sometimes have like annoying characteristics to her sometimes.
yeah,
Um, Especially when she holds her old mentor, when she was holding her old mentor in such high esteem when he
yes,
was a traitor. That was kind of annoying. Even though she didn't know. But
yeah,
I wonder, do you think her and Lamb ever hook up?
no, I would. I really don't want to see that.
I do. I
Okay,
want to see it. Yeah,
wait,
man, because I feel like they're just two people who they actually love each other, but and they need someone. You know what I mean? She's already kind of
they
like
do
his
kind of feel
wife.
like mom and dad. Like
She's
they do
already
kind of
like
feel
his
that.
wife, dude. She's like, I'm not leaving until you put out the cigarette.
Yeah,
It's so I kind of would like to see. I don't want to see a season of it though. I want it to be like the last episode of the last series finale thing. Those two have a hug and it's awkward and it's like you just know that they got together. Like you're just imagining them years later,
mhm.
you know.
Hugging each other under the
Because
ground.
Jackson Lamb had a very tragic life. And by the way, I would love to see a prequel series of Jackson Lamb.
I think could go over really well, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too. Um, I was gonna mention something else. I can't remember what I was gonna say, but yeah.
Next category, favorite scene.
I remember what I was gonna say now.
Of course.
Favorite scene. I do love the Slough House moments, like in the office. I really do
Yeah.
enjoy those a lot.
Yep.
Maybe Luisa's party, like the little, and then hit her and Cartwright by the river. I did enjoy those two scenes a lot because you don't
Yeah.
really get to. We haven't really seen a lot of their dynamic yet, and it feels like it's coming to fruition. I think she feels bad because Min died to
Hmm.
be with River. I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
Um, but nonetheless, I did enjoy those. How about you?
They were good. I thought the club was just
Yeah, it was a
funny
good
overall. I mean,
sequence. Really well
seeing
done too.
how yeah, it was. It wasn't a very annoying club scene. A lot of club scenes are just very, very annoying.
Well, this
I
one
was
was
cool
so
with it.
good. This one was so good that it felt like I was in a club, and
Yeah.
a lot of them aren't able to pull it off. Like Foundation, when they did their club scene, felt very fake. Um, but this one felt like a club, you know.
Yeah, it did.
Um, except for the applause, like them applauding Roddy and his escort, at the
Yeah,
end of the
that
dance.
of
That was
course.
corny. That wouldn't happen for the
Yeah.
most part.
Kind of
But
reminds me of that one time we were all in Fort Lauderdale. It was great.
yeah,
It's
I forgot about that.
been a
Um,
minute.
what was I gonna say? Oh, the scene I remember when Roddy's dancing in the beginning of the episode. I just knew he was dating somebody. The way he was dancing and
Oh
being so
yeah.
confident, I was like, oh, he found a
He
woman.
was drunk in
That
love.
was
Yeah.
it. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And who wouldn't be? His girl looks like Adriana Lima. Like, what? I thought she was Adriana Lima for a second, but then Adriana Lima's got to be like in her 40s or 50s now, right? You see.
I
Adriana Lima age 44 and looking
okay.
good. And looking good. Anyways, what any more categories?
Were there any? I mean, I didn't have any lines that really jumped out at me in this one. I don't. You might. I don't know. Do you?
No. No.
Yeah.
I think we got to redo these categories. Let's rethink these category sections. They're getting a little stale. I think we should work in something. Like I feel like we should be grading things. We should be
I do like the character and the scene categories. I'm not normally a big fan of like the favorite lines. I feel like that's just gonna be like a bonus category.
That's a
You know?
bonus thing. Like if we mention if there was one, but
Yeah.
I do like the idea of like grading the characters in some way, like grading the main characters.
Most annoying
Somehow
character.
we'd have to think about how we do that. I'm
Yeah.
comparing it to like when you watch a sports game, and people are like rating the player of the match and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I think that'll do it for this one.
I think so too. Until next time or a different show, thank you for listening to this episode of Slow Horses by Story Archives. You can find this podcast anywhere you find podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and you can visit our website at soapbox.house. You'll find links to this show and all of the places we exist on the internet.
We will see you guys next time on Slow Horses or another show. Bye.
Peace.